Hi, I'm Embry, and this is Embry's Corner, and welcome back to my channel. If you're a new viewer, watcher, subscriber, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, watcher, subscriber, welcome back. Hi guys, I am back today with another video. Today's video is a story time. This is a funny one. I feel like this story takes place when I was back on here. So if you like to hear about this story time, please stick around and let's get into it. Alright, so this takes place back when I was on the hill when my family was living here. If y'all know, we own land. We own two plots. So like one of them was my big mama's, which is my granddad's mother. It was her home, and then the house up above it was the trailer, and that was the trailer that my mom, and her sisters and my granddad and my grandmama lived in. So yeah. So if you would like to hear about this story time, please let's get into it. Alright. So like I said, we had been living on the hill for a good portion of my life. I grew up on the hill. We moved off from up on the hill. I think I was about, I want to say about 13. No, I was older than 13 when my family moved off from up there. Maybe 14 years old when my grandma finally decided to leave the hill and come and get into an apartment. Although my granddaddy didn't particularly want to do that, he did it. So yeah. So I sort of wish, I sort of hope that one day maybe I could buy it back for my family and fix up the trailer and make it look like it did originally, and you know, just like use it as like a family home. Like we had relatives. I lived there for a good portion of my life. Then when my mama finally moved out of my grandparents' house, she had moved out. She had made a couple attempts to move out and it didn't work out. But the last time she moved out into the house, my big mama's house, right down the way from you. So it was literally like a walk. It was literally a hop and a skip to the little blue house, and so that's what we lived in. And so if you don't know, I told you this. My mom worked a lot when I was younger, a whole lot. She worked a lot, and it was because she was a single parent, you know, doing this all by herself. She didn't have much help as far as my father was concerned. If you watched the previous videos, then you know that concern. He helped out a little bit, you know, when I was younger, but I don't attribute a lot of credit to him. I would give it to my mom and my grandparents. And so when my mom would work, you know, at night, when my mom would work, she would work from, I'm pretty much working her hours now. She would work from the evening time until nighttime, which she probably off about 11 o'clock. And nothing has changed. It's still how she works. And so, and she worked every day of the week. You know what I mean? Sometimes she worked Saturdays and Sundays too. It just depended on what her job required her to do. And I spent a good portion of my time up on the hill with my grandparents. That's where I would consider to be home. You know what I mean? Like, because I got some of their mentalities, some of the things they do, some of their quirks, some of the things habits they had. I got them now. Like I'm like a literally walking replica of my grandparents. Literally, it's crazy. But cats, rats, anything creepy crawly, I was scared of it. I didn't like anything with 4 legs. I didn't do it. I don't fuck with them. I don't do it now. I'm still like a little scared of dogs. I wouldn't say I'm scared of cats. I'm not scared of cats who, if I'm walking, they walk and they keep going. I'm not scared of cats like that. See, them cats don't mind their business. But if the cat come up to me, I shall not be held responsible for how I react when it does. Okay, and the same way with dogs. If I'm walking past a child, I couldn't watch scary movies. If you put on a scary movie, I was probably gonna be the person up all night, terrified as heck, scared as heck. Like, I was very scared. So it wasn't hard to scare me as a child. And I was scared of hair. Don't ask me why, but I was scared of hair. And my dad had bought me like this little lion, like from Lion King. It was like a little stuffed lion. I was scared of the hair on the line. I was scared of the dolls with the rolling eyes, like with the moving eyes. I was scared of those dolls for the longest. My mom would buy, but yeah. And so like I said, I was scared of that. So at night when my mom would come and get me, you know, I'm already one of them people like when I leave out the house, I check my surroundings. I am checking my surroundings. I'm looking. What's out here? Come on, not now, cause my door open. Let me give me time. Get back in the house and lock it. It's something sketch going. I'm one of those people, okay? And so, but I had been up on that hill for so long, like it was nothing for me to leave out. And then almost every time I left the house at night, my grandparents walked me to the door. Like my granddad would be sitting outside on the porch, literally like, all right, punk. I'm down getting the coach, mom. He be sitting there waiting for me to leave. So like and that's just like a little term of endearment from my grandfather. I like that. I love my granddaddy. God rest his soul. But yeah, they would always walk us out. And some nights my mom would, if I'm asleep or whatever, and she blow, my grandmother then would tell her to come in and get me and bring me out to the car. Well, let me just set up how this trailer was made. It changed a lot since then. So yeah. So our trailer was like directly on top of the hill. It said like directly on top of the hill in the like dead center. So we had like a big raised porch. It was like a high trailer. I don't know how the trailer was that high, but it was like pretty big, and it was a double wide. And we had a porch that set up high. And so you had steps that we had to go up. The thing is that what I'm trying to understand is how would this thing have even gotten up on the porch? Because that trailer sits high. I mean high. We used to keep our bikes and stuff chained up under it. That's how high it used to sit up on the porch. I'm like, well, this is one of them nights. My mama come home late from work. And she comes, my grandma them tell her to come in and get me, cause more than likely I was probably asleep somewhere in the house, and so she would have to come and get me. And I was one of them children that when I woke up I was delirious. I would do like stupid. I would like my grandma would say, yeah, get put your shoes. I get up, stand up, and go to the kitchen. No, yeah, put on your shoe. I said, oh, okay. Now, I have to look around. I have to try. I'm trying to wake myself up. And then I'm trying to remember where I put my shoes at. Hurry up, baby. Put on your shoe. Your mama coming. Like, I was one of them. You know what I mean? So, some nights my grandma, she would like get my stuff together and she would tell my mom to come in and get her because she goes to struggle trying to get up and do it herself and get out there to you. And so my mama would be like, okay, I'll come in and get her. So my mama would, so this is one of them nights my mom had to come in and get me because I was somewhere in the house asleep. And we walking out, I woke up a little bit by this time. We walking out, we saying, my mama talking to my grandma and granddad about something I don't know. And we walking out the house and I'm saying, bye grandma, bye granddad. They saying, bye, we'll see you tomorrow. And I look off to the side, y'all. It's a possum sitting right there on the porch. Right there, my grandma had like these big plants. She loved plants. The house was literally covered in plants. She had so many, and they were dying because she wasn't really able to take care of them after she had started her health had started declining. But yeah, so she had so many plants. And I wouldn't have paid any attention except for it was like wedged in between like two of the plants that my grandma had on the porch off to the side. Now the screen door is still open, y'all. I screamed so hard and I run. I turned back and hugged my mama. Mama said, wait. She looked up. She told my girl, she said, granddad, she said, Dad, there's a possum out here. Y'all, this thing like looked at us, the eyes were like real beady. And like it was a full adult possum. So it had like a really hairy back. Ugh, I hate possums. I don't like possums at all. It like hissed at us, and my granddaddy ran. We went back in the house, and my granddaddy ran into like the laundry room. We had like a little back room off in the back by the kitchen, next to the back door. it was like a little laundry room in there. So he like kept stuff like up on the top shelf in the laundry room. He pulled out, I think it was pneumonia. He pulled down some pneumonia and he opened it up and he threw it at the possum. I don't know what happened, but like the possum fell. Like I told you, like the porch set high. The possum fell through like the little railing on the porch onto the ground. I don't know if the thing survived the night. It couldn't, cause like the next day when it fell, my mom was like, is it dead? Is that? He said, my granddad was like, it would, if it ain't, it going to die, cause it ain't gonna survive that. So y'all. The next day, okay, so the next day, my mom, like, come on, boo, let go. And usually sometimes, like, when she'll go to work, she'll walk me outside, cause like I said, it was only a skip in the hop. My grandma, trailer was like literally next door to our house. So like sometimes, like, she would like watch me just walk up to my grandparents' house. Not this day. I said, She said, "Boo, you wanna walk to grandma's house there?" I said, nope. Nope, you gonna take me up there? She said, why, yeah? I said, cause that possum. What you mean, why? This possum, baby, like, it don't saw me, it know what I look like. I'm sure it know what I smell like. No, you're not finna send me out here by myself, sis. What are you talking about? She's like, boo, that possum is not coming back. It's dead. I said, I don't care, baby. You had to take me up there. We're not doing that. Y'all, for like the next few days, I was scared to come out the house. Anytime like my cousin, anybody went outside to play, I'm in the house. My grandma, my granddad knew. They like, this child really scared to go back outside. This child really scared to go back outside. Yo, it was not funny. So my mom was on her way to take me to my grandma's. She said, "Boo," she said, "I know you scared of that possum, but she said, boo, I promise you, it's gone. It's dead. It's not coming back." I said, "No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No, I'm not falling for it." She had to walk me into the house, and once I was in the house, she could leave, cause I was not getting out that car. And if I did get a car, I'm hauling ass up the steps. Like, I was petrified of this possum coming back. And so I guess my grandma and my mom had finally got tired, and they treated me outside one day. I don't know how they did, but they treated me outside. And they said, see, and nothing gonna happen to possum. They coming back. It's dead. If it didn't die right away, it's dead by now. It's been a few days. It couldn't survive that pneumonia. It couldn't have. They said. So I said, so y'all help us had just treat me out here, right? They're like, yep, but they say it's alright, you gonna be fine. And so after that, I was alright, and I started back going outside. But that was the time that I walked up on the possum. I was with my mama, of course, but I walked up on the possum, petrified to go outside for days afterwards. They had to trick me outside because I was not falling for. I just knew that possum was coming back. So yeah, so like, comment. Tell us what you want to hear, what you want to see, not what you want to rest of it to happen for you. Subscribe. If you're new to the channel, hi. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.